This is Unscrupled, covering Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 1, Episode 6, The Pack, and Episode 7, Angel. In this episode, this is what happens when you sign free trade agreements. Welcome to Unscrupled.
Damn it, Cordelia! Why do you have to be so right?
And that's that was her only line in the 2 episodes, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't
like, why
think
is
she really
even
said
here?
anything in the pack. She'll become clear later. Just go with it. Understand that she's important, and I love her.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you caught this, listeners, from the episode intro, but we're doing 2 episodes this week instead of 1. Do you know why? Because it's our show, and it's not yours.
And because season 1 is so painful, and we have to blow through it. So
I'm actually kind of mad at you, because these are the first 2 episodes that I really, enjoyed.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hey. No, okay, so I actually really disliked the pack.
Yeah, I feel that, why it sucks, but you've heard me. I can accept the show on its own terms when it's not trying to be important, right? When it's supposed to be a stupid cartoon, I can embrace that. And
all right,
it's not good, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. So
I feel that, and I accept and respect it.
So. And also, it's been a while. Those of you listeners who are not patrons, you're like, what? What do you mean it's been a while? Don't you do this once a week? But no, we're it's been 2.5 weeks since we talked. So.
Yes, and I've missed you with every fiber of my being.
Yes, I've missed you as well. I've missed the random dick pics you sent.
Don't tell people about that.
Well, see, she does this thing where she sends me dicks, just random dicks she finds around the internet. So I'm building a mosaic of her face, just made out of dick pics.
Yeah, do you need more dark ones? Because I'm really into those right now.
I'm not pursuing this conversation any further because, yeah.
Because you can't make up anything better than that?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been one of our facetious conversations. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, we're on a tangent again, aren't we? So, Buffy.
Buffy.
Strangely, I actually liked these episodes.
That's very strange because I don't like either of these episodes.
Really?
Yes, I said it. So because I want it to be what it's going to be later, I feel like these are wasting time before we get to, the things I enjoy. But yeah, if I was you, then I suppose these would be better episodes than, some of the other ones, I guess. I don't know. There are parts of the pack that really weird me out.
Yeah.
Principal eating, for example.
I think that's kind of why I'm more okay with this one than I am with the others, is that there was some stakes. The principal is someone we've seen before, a recurring star, and he's they keep introducing these characters that we never see again.
Red shirts.
Yeah. Red shirts, or just random people who, the bitch whose mom was a witch, and we haven't seen her again. We haven't seen the guy.
It's only been a couple of episodes.
We haven't seen the guy who was in the cage with Xander and the praying mantis again. So the fact that there's someone that we've seen before and can recognize who was a casualty of this, I'm like, okay, stakes are going up. Not very high yet. We still don't like the principal. But it feels like a Joss Whedon ramp up, which is, welcome.
Okay, I feel that. That's legit.
The hyena thing was really fucking stupid, though.
Yes.
And
yes, it was.
All right, okay, so the pack. Rancho Cucamonga has a zoo, apparently.
No, they took a trip to L.A.
It said Sunnydale Zoo.
Okay, yeah, but they totally took a trip to LA.
Yeah, that was the LA Zoo. And I was totally feeling the elephant who was giving them some side eye as they filmed. It's like, what is this bullshit?
Yeah, yeah. He was just not having it.
So there's a pack of bullies who are at least 25, all of them.
Yes.
So I there was Pop Collar, who was the brunette guy, and I think we've located the very first guy who popped his collar in the 90s. So
Oh, it was him?
yeah, it was him. I think if we go back in time and take him out, it'll
Then we
stop.
could save the world from popped collars.
Yes.
You know, that might be worth it. I'm going to work on that time machine.
Okay, and then there's the blonde dude who I called Hunt because he looks like a guy in one of the many, many Final Destination sequels who died a horrible death and it was a total douchebag. So that's him. And then there was this that haircut, that girl and her haircut. It was
with the lesbian haircut?
It
She's
was
a lesbian haircut woman.
I was gonna go a little more specific than that. It was a lesbian real estate agent in Atlanta.
Okay. I don't care what you say. She was hot.
I agree, she was hot, but it's also like time period woman. Like with that haircut, it's too late to ride the Demi Moore ghost train and too early to ride the Natalie Portman Manic Pixie Dream Girl train. So you're just fucking yogurt commercial at this point.
Ooh, harsh words.
I know. So, I mean, that's what you get.
Wow. That's
I don't know what
hardcore, man.
I can't even describe the other blonde woman. I'm like,
oh, she was so useless.
They were all pretty useless. Okay, so they're being dickheads. Mm-hmm. They're being dickheads to this kid who, like, strangely keeps showing up in scenes but has fuck all to do.
Yeah.
And they sneak into the hyena enclosure, and it looks like they're going to feed the nerdy kid to the hyena, but
like you do.
Instead, Xander
didn't your police do that?
No. No. You know why? Because we didn't go to the zoo in high school.
This is true. We really didn't.
What's this? Like, this show just doesn't understand things.
Ever.
No. So there's like a magic, how to describe it? There's is it a soul possession? Is it a body swap? Is it you take it away? What the fuck happened here?
Okay, so I guess the mean kids got possessed. I think it's a possession thing by the spirit of the hyena, and it made them kind of feral and even more jerk-facey, but it got Xander at the same time because he happened to be there. And so for Xander, the personality differential is quite pronounced, whereas for the mean kids, it was just like, now instead of just beating people up, they, eat principals and pigs. So yeah, that they were possessed. That's how I would quantify it.
Okay, so we had a stupid hyena puppet, and they couldn't really afford a whole hyena puppet, so they just had its head sticking out.
Yeah, of some rocks.
Uh-huh.
I want that hyena puppet so I can mount it on the wall on like a plaque.
You're a disturbed woman.
You just noticed?
Yeah, so this was by far a very, very ridiculous episode. Like it was hard to top the praying mantis, but they pulled it off.
Well, yeah. All for you.
Yeah, but like I said, as long as the show embraces the absurdity, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
And although Xander is as useless as Cordelia, I'm just not feeling him at all.
I don't ever want to feel him. But yeah, his purpose is kind of to what is that called? Humor? Comic relief, I believe is what it's called.
I would call him a butt monkey, but it's, Giles kind of fills that role.
Butt monkeys. Giles is the adult. Like they need an adult because.
But he's also getting his ass kicked all the time.
Yeah, Giles spends a lot of time unconscious. I believe that there somewhere out there, and don't ever look this up, but somewhere out there there's a website dedicated to how many times Giles is knocked unconscious. He should have so many concussions by now. Like he should be like a football player retiring, like not knowing where he is. But yeah, he just lots of unconsciousness for that man.
He's but Xander is like, I don't even care about. Willow, I'm having trouble. Like I think the only reason I'm willing to give Willow more of a chance is because I actually like Allison Hannigan.
Yeah. And like I said, they get better. I mean, eventually we stop being like Monster of the Week and start actually focusing on them as characters. And then it becomes a really interesting show. But until that day, we're stuck in season 1.
All right. So this hyena ghost has managed to take over this pack of bullies. And what that means is they're going to play dodgeball.
Well, yeah, dodgeball is by far the most aggressive game on the planet, don't you know?
It wasn't for me because in elementary school we kind of had a different way of playing dodgeball where
Okay.
You know how you hit someone and they're out,
Mm-hmm.
but if you catch the ball, whoever threw it is out?
Right.
We had a thing that when you were out, you went and stood around the edge of the opposing team so that you could catch balls and throw them out. So the more people you had taken out, the more dangerous it was for your team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it
So
kind
you're
of
never really out.
right. It never got to the point where one team gets ahead and they're just outmatched, right?
Okay. Huh. Interesting. So wouldn't that be a futile game?
Why?
Because, like, you're never done.
Well, you're done once everyone's been hit, right?
Huh?
And they go to the other side.
Huh.
So even though you're, like, out, you're still causing shit.
Okay.
And you're not just sitting there waiting for everyone else to finish. So, like the guy who got too excited at an orgy, just sitting around and, like, looking at your watch.
Yeah, see, I only go to all-girl orgies, and we're, like, never done.
Yeah, I know. It's just, at some point, you guys are going to starve to death. You have to have some
You
gay
order
man.
Chinese in the middle.
You have to have some gay man jump in the middle, pull you guys apart, put some Gatorade down your throat so you can go back at it.
Yeah, seriously. Like, man, caught me! Caught me, I gotta get back in there. Just jump on the pile.
Dodgeball. These people, like, I noticed that their hair was getting more and more messed up as they went.
Oh, yeah, dodgeball's a sweaty game.
I meant just, like, in general. Like, Yogurt commercials' hair just got progressively worse. And,
well, that was to symbolize her, descent into animalism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what do these people do? They win the dodgeball game, and then they leave the stage dramatically, and the coach has a boner, and I felt really weirded out by that.
Yeah, he was way too into dodgeball. But haven't we all had that gym teacher that made us really uncomfortable?
Yeah.
I had like 7.
All of them.
Yes. Something about gym teachers is like stranger danger.
That's very true. So, and after that, they decide to go pick on people at lunch in the courtyard.
Well, like you do. And it was total dominance behavior, like, oh, you're in our seat. But there's so many other seats. It's like, yeah, but this one is ours. Fuck off. Give me your hot dogs. I need meat.
And we saw that blonde chick eating the hot dog, and this is where I had to pause because I actually got a little sick to my stomach. I'm like, because
you're a vegetarian.
well, it's not just that, but I never liked hot dogs anyway. I always thought they smelled bad. This thing was clearly raw, and it looked really gross.
And they were high school hot dogs, so we're not talking Hebrew National that like is actually made of something that you would want to eat, but like not even Oscar Mayer. It's like Walmart bargain basement hot dogs.
It's in the bargain bin under the DVDs.
Yes.
It was kind of square too. I noticed that because I used to eat the tofu dogs every once in a while, and they had this kind of rounded edge but square, like a die from that you play D&D with. And that's what she was eating, and it was not phallic at all. It was just gross.
Wow. So you didn't like it because it wasn't cock-like enough.
She could have been eating an actual penis, and I would have felt better to my stomach because it was just.
All right, moving right along. Okay, so the fake hot dogs.
It's too well done.
So they do not quench their hunger, and they go looking for something a little fresher.
Right, and they find the mascot pig, which
he
one,
was kind of sweet.
no, two, no, three, fuck no, and four, don't dress your animals. There's a special talent for you.
But we have the cutest little bow tie for the kitten.
No, I'm like, no. So they put on this goddamn helmet that has, you can't even get the tusks right. They don't come out of the side of his cheeks like goddamn tumors. They come out from under the lips.
Oh, yeah, you're from Texas. You know about pigs. Okay, fine.
And so I thought this might be like the rival high school.
Oh,
mascot
like the principal went and stole the mascot pig?
Well, when the pig was running around, I thought it was just going to be like, oh, someone stole the, like you do. Someone stole the rival mascot. But no, it was the school mascot who, there doesn't seem to be any handler. I don't know why he stays on campus in a cage in the science lab.
They just got him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was brand new. That's what the principal was talking about in the beginning. He's like, oh, yeah, look at our new mascot, the Razorback. Rawr. And he's trying to dress him up to make him look fearsome, but he's pretty much Babe.
Yeah, I think that might have been the same pig as Babe, so.
It was the right time, so, maybe.
So, yeah, and so this pack of hyena people are prowling around because they're hungry, and they want something a little uncooked. What did you just whisper something at me?
I always whisper things at you. But no, I said a little fresher.
Yeah, so then they come in and just tear this pig apart, and it's really gross. But they managed to do it without getting any blood on their clothes, which is,
talent.
Yeah, I think I have a mac and cheese stain on my shirt right now. So
I'm covered in no, nothing. I don't spill on myself because that would involve eating. I could spill some of this whiskey.
You could.
But I won't because that would waste whiskey.
And then you'd have to suck your shirt.
Precious, precious whiskey.
Whiskey and cat hair.
There's no cat hair on my shirt. I got it fresh out of the drawer a minute ago.
So they eat the pig, which is disturbing. Very disturbing.
Yes.
So Xander has crossed over, and I don't even remember what the fuck Buffy was up to at this point, because I was all about watching this pack of weirdos.
Buffy was just like, what the fuck? Oh, wait, Pilates or, something distracting because she's, when she's not slaying or fighting things off, she's kind of a dingbat a little bit. She's smart, but she, buries it under, being 16, as we all did. So yeah, she wasn't really doing much other than being like, wow, my friends turned super weird. And
Yeah.
wasn't it Willow that figured it out because she is stalking Xander?
Yeah, it was, because Willow has this weird crush on Xander, which I don't get at all. And have we had the scene where Xander is a total bitch to Willow yet?
No, we haven't really discussed Xander's behavior as Hyena Boy yet at all.
It's so creepy, and I kind of want to punch him, and I already didn't like this character because he's a
Goofball.
a goober and an asshole at the same time.
Yes.
And I don't like him at all, and I feel like, did the hyena just bring out feelings that he already had? Because he's clearly got a crush on Buffy, and he has no problem trying to rape her.
I think that's Hyena, because actual Xander is not down with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Willow is into Xander because Xander is the only male that has ever actually paid attention to her in any way.
Okay.
And Xander's into Buffy because she's hot. And the kind of rapey scene was, yes, Xander's still kind of in there, or at least his like, liking hot girls is in there, and he definitely went after Buffy, but I think he kind of, as Hyena Boy, might have gone after any girl that was in there at the time. Like if Cordelia had been in there and been real hot, his testosterone would have taken over and he would have jumped her too.
He would not have jumped her in that polka dot thing.
Okay, so I know you're a gay man, but I gotta tell you, straight men don't notice hideous clothes the way you do. If it was a short enough skirt, it wouldn't have mattered. If it was green and pink plaid, he would have gone for it.
I just threw up in my mouth as you described green and pink plaid. Nobody make that a nobody.
That's going to be my new fall line. Fuck you.
That's what your line is called? Fuck you?
Yes.
I could totally, when we're rich and famous, we should put out a line of hideous clothes, and it's just like, fuck you, that's why.
Oh my god, we could change the world, because people would buy it. No, they would. They'll do anything trendy if we could really fuck up fashion for decades to come.
Yeah. Okay. Rapey scene. Where were we? Okay.
Yeah. So he jumps on Buffy and she knocks him unconscious.
And he gets some hyena strength. So I'm getting the feeling there's vampire strength and there's hyena strength and there's slayer strength, and they're all kind of equivalent.
Okay, so slayers are stronger than vampires, and vampires are stronger than hyenas. But Xander didn't know that, and hyena Xander certainly didn't know that. So he thought he was, because he feels really jacked up and awesome, because he's on, hyena-roids. So he thought that he could probably take a slayer. Sadly, he was quite mistaken. Well, not sadly, but sadly for hyena Xander's intentions. And yeah, he was quite mistaken, and she was holding back because she didn't want to hurt her friend, but when push came to shove, she shoved. And yeah, knocked him pretty unconscious fairly easily. Yeah. And then luckily for him, he was unconscious during the next scene, in which our intrepid mean kids have a meeting with the principal.
Yeah, and I was surprised that the show had the balls to go here. I've described this as a cartoon before, and there's always recurring characters, and then there's the individual characters who can probably die or get expelled or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew they would threaten him. I knew they would hurt him. I didn't know they would eat him. I didn't know that they wouldn't cancel school because the principal's been eaten.
Well, yeah, I got nothing.
Also,
sorry, guys.
Why does the library have a cage?
It's for the danger books, I guess.
when we get to the Angel episode, we're gonna have to talk about what the contents of this fucking library are, because there's, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty badass library when you get right down to it.
Okay,
But I
so,
digress.
the pack feeds on this, Jowly principal who is not Allison Janney and wants to be.
I love it when you say feeds.
Do you need a towel?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, and the poor principal is gone, and Xander is in the book vault at this point.
Yeah, the book prison, where books go
But
to
there
die.
is a book on hyena possession, of all things.
Well, why not?
It sounds like it would be a really short book.
Sometimes hyenas fuck shit up.
Yeah. And so the rest of the pack they all fall asleep out in the street, and there's a woman in a ugly ass pink tracksuit with a baby on her back.
I think they were in a park.
Were they?
Yeah, because there's like parks and graveyards all the fuck over Sunnydale, haven't you noticed? There's only like 2 streets.
Okay. But yeah, there's this whole freaky thing, and I'm like, please don't eat the baby. That's...
Yeah, I was saying that too. Even when I rewatched it this time, knowing full well what happens, I was like, don't, guys, don't, no. Just don't.
So the woman runs off and is chased by the hooligans, so I'm sure that her memory is going to be...
She wasn't chased. They like went back to sleep when she like flipped out a little bit. She was like, "Oh Jesus, sleeping teenagers," and like ran away. And they're like, "Oh, too hard."
Oh God, youths.
Youths. Yeah.
So, and then they go break Xander out, and they destroy the cage. And I felt like, having a prison cell that you had access to was probably kind of useful if you're going to be fighting creatures of the night in Rancho Cucamonga, because, yeah.
You're just finding excuses to say that word.
I've decided that is where we are, and I'm not wrong, and you know this.
You are wrong, but neither of us have been to Rancho Cucamonga, so we'll never know. Because there is no reason to ever go there.
No, there isn't. You know why? Because it's the mouth of hell.
You take everything so literally.
And so here's what I didn't expect, and that was that the rest of the pack, they've kind of crossed that line into murdering people and doing gross things. So I figured they cannot be long for this world. They're going to get their heads chopped off or explode like the end of a Power Rangers episode.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
But no, they just like sort of run off. But Giles has a bromance with the guy from the zoo.
A little bit, yeah. Well, okay, so Giles likes talking to smart people. Who amongst us doesn't? And, yeah, I mean, he figures it out pretty swiftly. I was really impressed by Giles's deductive reasoning right there.
Yeah, and it felt a little bit like, have you seen that movie, The Relic?
No, I haven't seen The Relic.
Okay, don't bother, it sucks.
Okay.
It's in a museum where something gets shipped over from Africa and a monster is created and eats everybody. So,
yeah, I don't need to see that. Yep.
No, you really don't. And it has Tom Sizemore before he beat his wife.
Yeah, you say names of actors as though I knew.
I have an embarrassing actor name thing for the next episode, but
I can't wait.
So apparently he had already drawn the symbol because he was trying to draw the hyena spirit onto himself, which was another little twist that I didn't see coming, and I'm kind of impressed on the show for giving me that. So he had such a bromance with Giles that I thought that this guy's going to be a recurring character and kind of give them sagely advice every once in a while, but no, he's a total asshole and he wants to.
Yeah, he's a super villain. Well, not even, he wasn't super. He was a mediocre villain.
A mediocre villain. I like that.
Yeah. And yeah, so his thing.
You are the Marco Rubio of the show, buddy.
Oh. Oh wow, that's some shade.
I know.
Oh, okay. So yeah, his gig is like, yeah, I want to be a hyena boy and take on their strength or some shit. And yeah, Giles calls him on it. He's like, "Are you like totally pissed that that some teenagers succeeded where you failed?" And he's like, "Yeah, kind of. Honestly, I mean, since we're talking right here, you asked me straight out like that. I respect that, by the way." He didn't say any of that, but that was totally what was happening. They should have made out. But yeah, then
I could
Giles
totally
gets
see that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he gets knocked out and tossed in a closet for some reason.
Because, why kill him? That's not like an act of aggression that would bring on the hyena spirit or anything.
I got the feeling like he needed the hyenas to be there. Like the hyena is still in the cage was not, no longer had the evil spirit.
Oh, yeah, so he needed those teenagers. He needed those damn kids and their dog.
Yeah. So all 5 teenagers run in because Buffy leads them in. And he's planning on slitting Willow's throat, and Willow is really fucking stupid.
She wises up at the last minute.
And who was it that threw him over into the pit?
Ooh, I can't remember. Who was it?
Was it Xander?
I think he just kind of tripped into the pit, or maybe Buffy. I think Buffy might have kicked him in,
Okay.
but it wasn't like a super great plan or anything. But he was attacking her in his, fancy African dress, pseudo-African dress,
And
his
the blue-
cultural appropriation dress.
Well, and the blue face paint. I'm like, it's like you are a fan for the worst football team ever.
Okay, so have you seen The Fifth Element?
Yes.
Okay, so that part where the Fifth Element girl shows up and like the priest sees her and he's like, "Oh!" and he runs into his bedroom and makes his acolyte just like sit there and entertain her while he goes and puts on his regalia.
Vaguely.
That's what Okay, it's one of my favorite parts because it's so silly. And yeah, that's what I felt like. He's like, "I need my regalia." It was like, dude, teenagers did it in their, chucks and their flannels. You'll be fine. Just like, calm down. This is why you keep failing.
All right. So, bad guy gets fed to the hyenas.
Ta-da!
And the episode is over, and Xander decides he's no longer eating meat, which is, probably a good thing, because that hot dog, I don't think I'm going to eat for days after that.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts. He is a teenage boy. They are fickle creatures.
So yeah, that was our episode, and this was by far the stupidest episode that we've had. But
yes,
I'm okay with it as long as it knows it's stupid and just sort of plays with it, right?
Yes.
So
if that's what it takes to get you through this, I support it.
I didn't like when vampires are like, I'm never scared for this town, right?
Okay.
So if it's stupid and playful, I can get behind it. It's like a particularly riveting episode, that stupid Rick Moranis Saturday morning cartoon show they had back in the 90s. So.
All right. Well, we'll see how that. We'll check in again on that attitude later.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the pack. Yay! Shall we move on to Angel?
Let's move on to Angel, and I am all about this episode.
Really? Okay,
I
do
really
tell.
am. So, here's, I wanted to spin another conspiracy theory because one of our listeners actually messaged me, and he's like, "Do you have a conspiracy theory about Darla?" And I'm like, "I don't. Should I?" And he gives kind of oblique references because I can't Google her because I'll run into spoilers, right? And guess who it is? Guess who the actress is?
The mom from Dexter, or the wife from Dexter?
Yes.
Yes.
So I was trying to put together, like, how did she become unvampired and move to Florida? So
I can't say anything ever.
Okay. Um, well, it doesn't matter because the bitch got iced. But no, I'm actually all about this because I thought it was odd that she didn't die in the pilot because they made such a point of her being like a leader and someone important to the master.
Well, you had to find out that she was Angel's sire.
Yeah, then that's what I could watch an entire show about Angel and Darla, like period pieces of them fighting as a couple.
Yeah, you could watch that.
A very Interview with a Vampire, but less gay and less stupid. Because I actually thought the two of these.
I don't think you've ever wished for a show to be less gay.
I,
Okay, anyway, yeah, keep going.
no, I felt that there was chemistry between these two, between Darla and Angel.
Absolutely. 100%. There is so much chemistry there. And I love how she's like trying to tempt him back to the dark side. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start at the beginning.
So, you start at the beginning because I honestly don't remember what happens up here. Because, like I said, I lost Buffy throughout this whole thing. She was the least interesting piece of this entire puzzle.
And that may be a theme. Okay, so Buffy and Willow are at the Bronze because they're having their fumigation party. And it's, a big bash before they close the place down for a while and nuke the cockroaches.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Classy establishment.
It tried to be grosser than that ugly-ass hot dog, but it didn't succeed. Like, even picking up the cockroaches did not get me as queasy as watching that nasty-ass hot dog. All right, continue.
Okay. So, yeah, it's there, and Buffy and Willow are chatting about, boys and wanting boys to pay attention to you, even though they don't. And Buffy talks about Angel and how he shows up and cryptically says things about, oh, yeah, you're in mortal danger. See you in a month. And Willow is like, yeah, when Xander, smiles at me, kind of time stops a little bit. And we all know that feeling, and we feel bad for Willow because, A, Xander doesn't know she's alive beyond, help me with my chemistry or whatnot. And B, Xander sucks! Oh my god, why do you love him?
Xander is such a... I want him to get eaten. Like, can we go back in time and trade him for Eric Balfour?
Who?
Meth. I forget his...
Oh, him. Okay. Probably not. So, yeah. So they're mooning about stuff, and then, let's see, does Angel appear, or what happened? Oh, yeah, the Master sends, quote-unquote, the 3 after Buffy. And
I was so disappointed because the 3 was like, I'm like, really? You're going to try and give us something that we're supposed to pay attention to, but then it...
And then they waste it. Yeah.
Well, not that it's... They just... Not even the show could take it seriously.
Yeah. The Master really, seriously, he's a terrible leader. Because, there's this mythic trio of vampires that's supposed to be so badass, and they come after Buffy, and she fends them off, and so instead of being like, okay, fellas, try again, maybe have a plan this time, he's like, no, you failed me. Let me have my little Twidget dust you. What the fuck, Master? Why do you waste your tools?
And you don't have anyone left. There's no more extras in that little cave of yours.
It's true.
There's just the kid and Darla.
But, we have a lovely plot device to get Angel, kind of damaged a little bit, and Buffy takes him home to patch his wounds up and, invites him into her home, takes him into the kitchen, and insists that he takes his shirt off because, we need to see David Boreanaz shirtless.
He has pink nipples, by the way.
So glad you noticed.
Well, there's 2 types of nipples. There's pink and there's brown.
Mine are pink.
Yes, because we are really white.
We really are. Yeah, mine are totally pink. So yeah, he's a pink nippled vampire with a tattoo. That didn't really look like anything. Like really.
Yeah, I didn't get the feeling that that was anything I was supposed to know what it was, but it's you forgot that we learned a little bit of vampire lore here,
Okay.
and it's the being invited in is a true thing.
Right.
So
You
that
have to be
exists
invited.
that exists in this universe, and I'm like, can I just like build a pillow fort and not let them in?
I think you have to own the home. I
Ah,
don't know. Or
what
you
if
have to
rent?
like live there or something. Yeah, you have to have some kind of psychic imprint on the place
All right,
because I don't know. A lot of my invite them in like stuff gets mixed up with True Blood, so I don't always know what the rules are, but I do know that yes, you do have to invite them in for it to be a thing. And Buffy goes ahead and, invites Giles in. You would think she would know more vampire lore by now, but
she invites Giles in.
not Giles, Angel. I was thinking Giles should have told her that you have to invite vampires into your home for them to be able to enter, and she's just letting everybody in willy-nilly. But, she doesn't suspect Angel yet, because why would she? I mean, he's just this mysterious guy that knows all kinds of weird shit that's happening in her town. He couldn't possibly be an undead thing. So, yeah. But she's attracted to him, so therefore, he must be trustworthy, right? And yeah, she sees his tat, and they talk about stuff, and then Mom comes home and makes it awkward in that way that moms do.
That was another thing that kind of ratcheted up the tension because they had just killed the principal, who's actually, I think, been around more than Mom at this point. So I'm like, was this plan going to work? Are they going to kill Mom?
No, are they?
That's not how it went down, but...
Thank goodness. I really like Joyce.
Her name is Joyce?
Yeah, Buffy's mom is named Joyce.
That is such a mom name.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Joyce finds them and is like, hi, who are you, and what are you doing in my house, and why is my daughter lying about you?
She is remarkably chill for someone whose kid has a history of arson.
Yeah, you keep bringing that up.
What? Arson! Fire.
So fired. Yeah. Joyce has some trust issues in that she does it too much with her teenage daughter.
She's the Dumbledore of this show.
I accept that. Okay. So, Buffy hides Angel in her room because, those three vampires could still be out there looking for him, don't you know? He couldn't possibly take care of himself. And then, day happens and she goes to school and Joyce goes to work.
Are we not going to mention how Buffy is 16? She should want to fuck everything at this point.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she did not bone this man.
Okay, so here's the thing about 16. Yes, you want to fuck everything, but when you're a girl, you're also desperately terrified of that first time because everyone tells you it hurts, and it does. And you know it does because you might have experimented with tampons or, stuff. And you're 16, so you can't go to a sex toy shop and just buy yourself a dildo and open that whole world up. So unless your hymen got broken while horseback riding or some shit, it's a pretty tender area, and you really want it to be right. You want to trust the dude you're with to not just go to town and really hurt you. It's a very tender time.
You're not the first person to mention hymens being broken by horseback riding. So I have to ask.
Yeah.
Is it the saddle horn?
No, it's not a penetration thing. It's a really thin kind of delicate thing, and if you're bouncing around with your legs spread a lot, it can just kind of go away, I guess. I don't know. Mine was not broken through horseback riding, but like it doesn't have to be broken through penetration. It can be broken by like stretching, I guess. It's a strange and mysterious thing that really shouldn't have the cultural power that it does, and yet somehow. It's like a freshness seal, you know?
See, I thought I was going to make you laugh at the saddle horn, because I know you don't fuck the saddle horn, and that's how it's gone. But...
I don't know what you know. As far as I'm concerned, the way you imagine vaginas is this mysterious dark cavern out of which comes magic and babies and horror. Like, it could be anything. It's a Pandora's box. Oh, man. Pandora's box is my new euphemism for vaginas. Damn you!
You don't want to go with Lady Cave, or?
Nope. Secret Garden.
Hellmouth.
I cannot wait till the next time girlfriend.
Boca de Infierno.
I'll be like, hey baby, open your Pandora's box for me. Give me that Boca de Infierno. I'm never having sex again, and it's your...
No, you're not. And they're going to be like, you're in your 30s. Stop it. Okay. How did we get here? Oh, yes. Buffy does not fuck Angel. Angel decides to sleep on the floor. She doesn't even give him a blanket.
Well, no, she is a terrible host. She really is. And yeah, he sleeps, except he doesn't because he's undead, on the floor, and she's...
So they don't sleep.
Well, she probably doesn't because she's, like, listening to him not breathe.
The undead don't sleep.
Well, the undead totally sleep. They just sleep during the day.
Okay, because I was wondering why he had a bed in his apartment.
I was wondering why the fuck she just didn't have him go home at daybreak when the other vampires were gone. But no, she couldn't because he's a vampire, but she doesn't know. Why didn't she tell him, hey, after Mom leaves, just get the fuck out of my house?
And wear some sunblock.
Yeah, it's a real scorcher today.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't know that he's a vampire and can't just leave. Why didn't she? Yeah, it just seems so simple once you realize she's ignorant of this, vital fact. But maybe Mom doesn't leave that day because he says that, Mom came in and, totally moved your diary. So maybe Mom was just home on she just had a personal day? What?
I got the feeling the art gallery isn't open during the day. So
okay.
that's why she's getting home at like 10 and not eating because like she's out and serving, having like dinner things and serving hors d'oeuvres and stuff because there's Rancho Cucamonga is not wealthy enough to have idle rich. It has to be, after
the working
work.
rich.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, but she still has, like, inventory to do and things to hang and stuff to dust and, like, tracked lighting to position just so.
Are we ever going to see her gallery?
I don't know, are we? No, we're never going to see it.
Okay.
It's a theoretical gallery. There's only so many sets. We got a living room in this one. What do you want?
Yeah, we got a staircase, too.
Yeah, we do.
It's clearly not attached to the kitchen at all.
Nope. In fact, I think the kitchen is in another dimension.
This show is really low budget, so I'm surprised they could afford Julie Benz. Although she probably wasn't very famous at that point.
Yeah, I think this might have been her like first thing. Her first thing.
And I as much as she fades into the background in everything she does, she's actually a fantastic actress. So I was all about Darla. So Darla's plan after, she gets her rocks off killing the three is she's going to goad Angel into killing Buffy. And the way she's going to do this is I'm surprised she played her hand as well as she did. And so Buffy learns that Angel is a vampire and flips the fuck out.
Well, he was kissing her when she found out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his attraction to her causes him to go full face, all up in her grill. And, when you're a vampire slayer, that's shocking.
So the face comes out when he gets a boner? Is that how it works?
Yeah, don't you know fangs are like little boners?
Yeah, and I still don't have an answer to the question. Are vampire fangs like straws, or do they just take them out and start sucking?
I think they take them out, puncture something, and then feed from the puncture wound.
Okay, so they remove them after.
Yeah, it's like a bite and then a suck.
All right. So Darla shows up at Buffy's house and convinces Joyce to let her in and bites the bitch.
I love Joyce in this scene. I just gotta say, she's such a mom. It's like, you want a snack? Are you thinking something big or something little? It's like, oh, you're gonna make her a quesadilla or something, aren't you, Mom? That's so sweet.
She made her a grilled cheese and tomato soup, but the tomato soup was blood.
Oh God, it's terrible, but so accurate. And yeah, Darla just like goes all snacky time on.
See, I got a very proto Mystique, at least Rebecca Romaine Mystique, from this. The way Darla played this.
Yeah, Darla played it very well, and Angel walked right into it like a big dumbass.
And so did Buff.
Well, so. Yeah, but okay, to be fair, you see a dude you know is a vampire cradling your mom and her bloody neck while he's in full face. What are you going to think? Wouldn't you chuck him out the living room window?
I would have stabbed him in the nose. So.
Yeah. But yeah, she does not dust him because she's kind of dumb. And yeah, but she chucks him out the window and tells him he's not welcome. And that firm telling off should be plenty for an agent of darkness.
Yeah, and it's do they have the meeting in his apartment before or after this?
Okay, after this. Wait, the meeting where Darla is all intimidating, or the Buffy Angel meeting?
No, that's Darla and Angel.
Yeah, that happens before she tricks him into looking like he was eating Joyce.
Right. I liked this scene and just the chemistry between them and the history and
yeah.
I don't know. I could watch an entire show. That's why I'm so sad that Darla is dead, because they made really good use of her, and here is where I'm actually starting to like the show. Like I enjoyed the last episode, but nothing. I would not want to pick it up again. This episode I did, because Joss Whedon makes very good use of his guest stars, especially the women.
Yes.
And I thought it was I didn't really care about Angel. I cared about Darla, and this story between them and where Darla is in the vampire hierarchy, and the fact that she turned him and they were a couple across Southern Europe for so long. I would watch a spin-off of that show. I know it's not, because they don't have the balls, but I would hope that the Angel spin-off is just Angel's Adventures.
Angel's Adventures when he was evil.
Exactly.
What did you think of Angel's backstory?
It gave me enough vampire lore that I'm starting to say, okay, this isn't that stupid.
Okay.
Now, I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of the whole soul concept at all. Mm-hmm. I feel like soul wasn't really what they were describing. What they were describing was a conscience, which is something very different.
Yes and no, but okay.
But I'm also starting to understand, those questions I had in the pilot where, is like, it's the thing that killed him, and like, oh, I get it now. It's just, it strips you of your empathy and turns you into a psychopath.
Well, more than that. I mean, they legit say a demon comes and inhabits your body and your soul escapes. Your soul goes off to wherever souls go. But there's a demon walking around with your memories in your skin. And, that's as much as I could say right now, because that's what they cover in this episode. But we will have more about how vampires work.
Okay.
And yeah, so Angel is presented as this tortured thing.
And I can kind of get behind that, and the fact that it's not anything bullshitty like, oh, it's the power of love, Or
No, it's a fucking gypsy curse.
it's a
That's
gypsy
awesome.
curse. That's kind of amazing. That's very Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm kind of feeling this episode. I know it's not your favorite, and I'm hoping that the quality continues to go up in season 2.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes.
All right
Yes,
then.
it does.
So, where were we? Okay, so the showdown in the bronze.
Was it in the bronze?
Yeah, it was because they were fumigating and there was no one there, remember?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And a lot of
Okay.
windows and shit breaks in this episode, and nobody seems to notice. Like, Buffy loses a window, and then the bronze loses the sneeze guard and the ice cream.
Yeah.
I posted this on Facebook, and it's like, the bronze they're a fast casual restaurant. They're a punk rock venue, a pool hall, and an under 18 nightclub. Like, that's a lot. I'm so glad this business survives.
It's a small town, and they're not a punk rock venue. They're an alternative rock venue. It was the 90s. Punk was out.
Oh, that's right. Punk didn't
yeah.
come back again until, what, 2004?
Something like that. And even then, it's not punk as it was in the 80s. It's like neo-punk, where they forgot about their politics.
I don't... My thing about punk rockers is I feel like it's always a get-off-my-lawn kids these days thing, and I think the punk rockers of the 80s were probably told the same thing by the punk rockers of the 60s.
There were no punk rock. Well, maybe
there were the seeds of that, and these movements resurface with different names. So
okay, but yeah. Anyway, we digress. Punk actually has nothing to do with this episode. So yeah. Angel, they have a showdown, and Angel's like, hey, I have a soul, and that's why I'm different, and blah, blah, blah. And Buffy totally buys it and just chucks down her steak and is like, I won't kill you then. Yeah, she really takes him at his word, which is, she must really like this dude.
Well, he is cute in a very, in
a very Cro-Magnon way.
I was going to say in a very, what's the word? In a very bouncer who really wants to be ridden hard way.
Wow. Okay. I do not have experience with this thing. Tell me more of it.
Oh, I don't know. There's a strain of beautiful, in shape men who just will get down on their knees for because that's what they really want.
Okay.
And
I enjoy that visual.
He gives me that vibe. We were not friends when I lived in San Antonio and my adventures, because there are 5 military bases in San Antonio.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You must have cleaned up.
Nothing about it was clean.
Okay. Roger that, shipmate.
Yeah.
Okay. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, Giles is, chilling with Joyce and finding out that it was Darla the whole time that was biting her, and goes to tell Buffy, but
oh, I'm sorry. Another piece of vampire lore that's been eliminated at this point actually is there's no venom because Joyce isn't fucked up.
Yeah, there is no vampire venom. They may have a certain glamour. There's definitely a thing they do where they stare at you deep in your eyes, and you just kind of are into it, because they've done that several times now. But yeah, once they're biting you, it sucks.
Totally fair. And then Darla shows up, and she decides to be the I'm not going to call her a supervillain, but she's maybe a what's the right word? She's greater than mediocre, but less than super.
She's by far the best villain we've had so far.
Yes, that's very true. So she has 2 guns, and she decides to go all nuts and say, "Ha ha, I can shoot you." And
yeah. She brought
And
a gun to a steak fight.
I know this is just poor choreography, but I like to think the fact that she's holding those guns with her arms bent is showing off her vampire strength rather than just a choreographer who doesn't know how guns work.
Yeah, that's a happy fantasy. Let's go with it.
You got to be pretty fucking strong to bury the recoil with your elbows bent. It's like ow.
Yeah,
I'm
those were big
surprised they
guns
didn't
too.
pop out.
Well, you know.
So there's this showdown, and I don't want to go play by play on how this happens. There's a crossbow that misses, and then Angel stabs her from behind, and she gets dusted, which I was really fucking sad about because I was kind of like, please hold on to this villain because you're the first good thing that I can really latch onto in this show.
Yeah.
So.
How did you feel about her last word being Angel's name?
It was a little trite, but I can forgive it because this is a hokey show. So,
okay.
it makes sense. I mean, there's definitely a connection between these two as much as, and I feel like if Angel didn't have a soul, they'd still totally be boning. Or maybe if he could have gotten Darla a soul somehow, but.
Well.
But I like
watching the movie.
I like Darla as a bad guy. So.
Okay. I feel like I can tell you that flashbacks are a total thing that happens in this show.
Oh, so I get more Darla. All right.
I need to give you a reason to keep on going.
Yeah, you do. So
I do.
You really do, because I was so disappointed when they killed Darla.
And so I'm not going to promise a Darla flashback, but I'm going to tell you that flashbacks are a thing.
Okay.
Okay.
If it flashes back to Buffy in L.A. proper, I'm going to be very angry. So.
Buffy, like, riding the bus.
It's a flashback to Buffy taking a standardized test.
Yeah. The California Golden State exams. Yes, that is exactly what we need in this.
We have a TOS test in Texas. So.
Well, you know, you guys aren't as cool as us.
Yeah, we're going to have a Rumble later.
Yeah,
All
bring
right.
it.
So those are our episodes, and yeah, this is the first time like the pack is. I had to actively allow myself to, or force myself to be okay with it, and once I did that, I was okay with it. But this Angel episode, I really liked it.
Awesome.
I really liked it. I really liked Darla, and just like X2 was only good because Mystique was in it. So.
Okay, yeah, you do have a history of this. It's true. Okay. Any predictions? Because we're at like a halfway-ish point through this season.
I think Xander's gonna die.
Okay.
Or I don't think he can focus group well at all.
Okay.
I hate him. I don't see the appeal. He's not attractive.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a good actor.
Okay.
Giles, I get the feeling is going to be around for a while, and I know Willow is because Allison Hannigan was like on the show forever.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
I think Buffy at the season finale. I think Buffy's going to kill the Master, and probably I hope she kills the kid too.
Okay.
Other casualties. I don't think Joyce is long for this world.
All right. Okay. Good enough. Let's see. Anything else?
I think we should read our reviews.
We have reviews! Oh my god, you didn't tell me. Okay, guys, for the longest time we thought we had no reviews because apparently you can't cuss in Apple reviews, and my name is Bitches. So people were trying desperately to tell us how awesome we are, but they'd be like, and the things Bitches says really crack me up. Except not that at all. But as soon as Apple saw that the word Bitches was in there, they're like, nope, censored, because apparently they don't jive with words that have been on network TV for the last 10 years. Anyway.
Speaking of which, you know what I just realized?
What?
We didn't introduce ourselves. So, who the fuck are you?
I'm Bitches.
And who am I?
You're Money.
Uh-huh, and we are
Bitches and Money. Yes. We have to get better at our unison.
I know. And we need to get better at saying things on time. So,
it's true.
Are we ready to read some reviews?
We are. Talk it to me.
So this one's by Candace B. in the United States, and we love Candace.
What up, Candace?
And it's called Staking iTunes in Its Profanity-Free Heart. 5 stars. Now that the secrets of iTunes reviews have been revealed to me, I hope my reviews will be revealed to you. BTVS was my favorite show in high school. I've never seen women portrayed this way before. Strong, weak, impenetrable, vulnerable, conflicted, resolved. That's, wow. Okay. And I was enthralled.
Give it time.
The show both crumbles and holds up over time, and despite its failings under an older, wiser, more socially aware lens, I still enjoy it. B&M's commentary is priceless. M is skeptical and applies a fair amount of criticism, which is a sharp left from the opposite dynamic found on their Alias podcast. Isn't that true?
Yes.
And B does her best to defend the swamp of 90s social ineptitude and special effects. I can't wait until they settle into some of the more beefy or Buffy material. Beefy. As the show finds its groove and its audience. If you love BTVS, even through the side eyes, the elephant side eyes that we saw this time, I suggest you give this podcast a solid go. And I promise it gets better.
Thank you, Candace. You're right. It does. Just like being gay.
Being gay is always awesome. It's the straight people who suck. So.
Ooh, wow. No, okay. Straight people don't suck unless they want to. But haters fucking suck.
Yeah. So, that was one review. We have another one.
All right, let's do it.
It's called A Match Made in Heaven, 5 stars, by Lord Hobbs here in the U.S., and we all know who this is. Hi, Owen.
Hi, Owen.
In every generation, there is a chosen podcast. They alone will stand against the terrible white teenage actors, horrendous 90s fashion choices, and the forces of darkness. They are the unscrupled.
That is us.
That's some drama there.
That's right.
I want, Owen, I want you to, write the stage directions of my life.
And the colored girls sing.
As a longtime Unspoiled listener, I was delighted to hear these two were going to be covering one of the most popular TV shows of the 90s in the traditional Unspoiled format. I did not grow up watching Buffy, because you're really young. And so when I attempted to give it a watch a few years ago, my reaction was very similar to Money's, and I quickly gave up. Now that I am viewing the franchise with his accompanying snarling and bitches' assurances that it will get better, I am very much looking forward to giving the show another shot. These two make an excellent team. They both offer good insights, personal asides on their teenage years, and make hilarious remarks about the more cringy elements of the early episodes. Can't wait to hear more of what else these two have to say. Less than three.
Thanks, Owen.
Thanks, Owen.
Candace.
Yeah, those are some good reviews. So if you want to help us out, you can actually write a review. So go on iTunes. I know it sucks, all you Android people, but just go on iTunes, download it, write a review. I really want to get us into the new and notable section.
Yes, that would be really cool. I tell you what, guys, if you guys write me a review, I'll make up a bear story about you and for you.
Okay, the bear stories are kind of legendary.
Don't pump me up too much because they're pretty weird. But I'll keep it under 5 minutes. But they get wacky. So you guys, you don't even know. Just understand that you want this. You want it desperately.
All right. So now that we've covered some reviews, thanks, guys. I think it's time for some plugs. So I'm going to go first this time.
Okay.
We are Unscrupled, and we are a franchise of Unspoiled. And if you like what we're doing here, you should hear Natasha and her podcast Empire, where she covers all your pop culture with funny asides and entertaining guest hosts and just everything you want to be covered. You've got Harry Potter, you've got Justified, you've got The Dark Tower, you've got The Golden Compass, and if you become a patron, which you can do at patreon.com/unspoiled, you can get access to the Patrons Only podcast. So I just finished covering the Walking Dead graphic novels with her, and she has moved on to Luke Cage, which I'm super excited to watch, but I haven't had time yet. Because,
Ditto.
yeah. And God, he is a beautiful man. And after Luke Cage is going to be Twin Peaks, which is just a whole pile of banana pants. So
I've never seen Twin Peaks. I cannot wait to watch it with them.
I've seen the first episode, so I'm like Buffy. I was like, "Fuck this!" But with someone as in on this as Maggie, I may be able to stick it out. So yeah, you can become a patron. It costs you as little as $1 a month, whatever you feel is appropriate. And if you pay more, you can get more. So you can get access to cocktail hours with Natasha. You can get her to plug your business if you pay enough. There is one patron who has her is sponsoring their own podcast, so you can actually get a podcast made to order.
Yeah. Is there a show that you really want Natasha to cover? Because, I've got 17. I haven't got that kind of money, though. I live in poverty.
So, yeah, you can get her to cover a movie or a couple chapters of a book. Yeah, that's how it works. And if you don't feel like spending extra money, you can actually just go to unspoiledpodcast.com/Amazon and, do your Amazon shopping. You were going to anyway, and that takes money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket and puts it in ours. So, yeah, it costs you nothing. So just do that. Bookmark it, do your shopping, buy your man cave supplies, your dragon dildos, your copy of The Mating Habits of African Ants.
Or, books. If you like books. Oh my gosh, I just should do book suggestions. Anyway, but yes, absolutely. Go to Amazon, buy whatever it is you're buying. And sometimes they're dragon dildos, sometimes they're just rainbow. Because that may be what I've been shopping
Rainbow
for. Anyway,
dildos, or can you just buy a rainbow on Amazon now?
I'm pretty sure if anyone was just selling rainbows, it would be Amazon, but I was referring to rainbow dildos.
Okay.
Girlfriend's gotta yearn for one. It's pretty fun. And yeah, just go on over there and check it out, buy some stuff, and yeah, Natasha gets a slice of that pie.
Yeah. So, do you have a plug?
My everyday normal average plug is, if you're in the LA metro area around Thanksgiving weekend and you want to reward yourself for surviving a family dinner with every extended relative you've ever met, please come on by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to LosCon. That's right, LOSCON.org. You can get your tickets today, folks, and hang out with a bunch of nerds. We do Arduinos, we do cosplay, we have live steel demonstrations, we have tumblers, we have people making balloon animals just in the hallway, not because we ask them to, but because they just like to. It's really weird. And some of the most awesome people you're ever going to meet. Come on out, hang out. Chips and drinks are free. I know because I provide them. Anyway, and yeah, the parties at night are righteous. If you're 21 and over, you can come have a drink and talk about books or nerdy shows or whatnot. And if you are into Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you're exactly the kind of people we want at LostCon. So come on out. It's a heck of a good time. Thanks, folks. That's it. That's all I got.
So that's our show, everyone. So, come listen to us next week. We are going to have a special guest. And what's the name of the next episode? I'm not allowed to look.
Oh, I forget. Hang on. Oh, it's I, Robot You, Jane.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
you have no idea how weird this fucking gets.
all right. So, that's our show, everyone. So, goodbye, bitches.
Goodbye, money.
Bye, listeners.
Bye.